let's see. I've got an unboxing I need to do from Matthias. Matthias sent me a box of Danish Flint and included a biface, at least one biface. And I haven't unwrapped the rest of them, so let's do that now. Okay. So that's a very nice biface. There's a little bit of stepping going on. To get the step fractures out of that one, I'll probably have to reduce the width somewhat. I don't see a clear path to try to get that flattened out. Unless I make it more narrow. Making it more narrow will increase the convexity and decrease the distance to get that out. Alright, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to work on this right now. Let's see. I need to make sure I have a pen so I can mark it as Danish Flint because it looks very similar to some of the Texas stuff. Yeah, let's see. Do I have a pen? I think I do. Okay, so hold on while I mark this. Okay. Let's see what we got. It looks like more bifaces. Yeah, I've got rock flakes I can use to open this up, but I'm looking for my knife. It's not here. Okay. Have to do it the hard way. These are very well wrapped. Yeah, I recommend doing this. Wrap everything with cling wrap. Not only does it cushion it, it prevents it from moving around because the cling wrap is kind of sticky. It sticks to itself, so these things don't move around a lot. This box is also well taped. So it got to me from Denmark in very good shape. Dang it. I just wanted to show you that it arrived in good shape, which is unusual from Europe. I usually have issues. Yeah. At least one little corner is popped out on a box of rocks, but this one was packed well enough that it didn't happen. So another biface. This I can tell is the Danish Flint. There's not much in Texas that looks like this, except maybe some of the darker Georgetown. All right, so we're going to do these one by one. That has got some Cortex on it. I think Matthias also wanted me to try heat treating some of this stuff in a previous batch that he sent me. These are all done very well. So far, these bifaces are pretty good. I have a biface that I did of Danish Flint. Where is it? This is the one I made on live stream. Right? Same stuff. Roughly the same size. Yeah, I made this one on the live stream, on one of the live streams. So yeah, pretty good. I've been napping a long time, so I should have nice looking bifaces. What is this here? More of that same. This is high grade stuff, right? Where there's not concrete, but the concrete is not that bad actually. these little lighter patches are not that bad. So this is going to be fun napping this stuff. Now this is somewhat translucent. It is Danish flint. It's somewhat translucent. So I think he wanted me to nap some of this or experiment with it. Yeah. And it looks like there's a lot of bifaces, or is that what it is in here? All bifaces? That would be awesome. Just gotta make sure I don't ding the edges or break off any tips. Yeah. This one has a little piece broken off, but that got really thin. Yeah, typical step fracturing. Yeah. Nothing to be ashamed of. That happens with everybody. Yeah. With practice, you learn how to keep it convex enough to drive flakes to reach the center. There's also the possibility of having tough spots that prevent flake travel and cause stepping. And sometimes it'll cause a step just because there's a higher spot than normal. And the flake doesn't like irregularities, so it'll stop. Even though it's excellent material, if there's a lump there, sometimes the lump will stop it. Yeah. Even if it looks really nicely convex, just because there's a lump there, it may stop. It's not that common, but it does happen. You get used to what you can get away with as far as lumps. Sometimes you can remove a lump, undercut it with a flake. Sometimes you can't. Most of the time you can once you get used to it. This looks like semi-translucent. Yeah. It does remind me of Georgetown. The color, at least. The translucency, it's more translucent than Georgetown. It's more like a Pedernales looking type material. So yeah, I could, if I don't keep these separate, it could get mixed up with the Texas stuff. I gotta make sure I don't mix them at all or get them anywhere near the Texas stuff. Nice. These are pretty good, Matthias. Yeah, the one I did on the live stream is like, yeah, we got comparable results. I don't know how long you've been napping, but probably not that long. This is very nice. I didn't expect to get a lot of bifaces. I thought he was going to send me challenging chunks. So yeah, I'll be napping a bunch of this on video, along with everything else that I've got that people have sent me. I've got a lot of material to nap, so there's no shortage of napping materials now. This looks cool. This is not as smooth as the other batch. A little bit rougher. Yeah, a little bit drier, a little bit rougher material, but still, look, he got it real thin. He got it really thin. And this one has worse concrete than the other batch. Right. Let's see. Oops. Don't step on bifaces. Remember, boys and girls, don't do like what I just did. Let's see. It's a lot. You can tell the luster is different. It's probably just as strong as far as not being snap in half-ish. None of this stuff so far on the Danish flint is snap and half-ish. It's pretty strong stuff. Flexibility is important. If it's very, very brittle and not flexible, it'll snap in half easy. Yeah. You have to be extra careful and do the extra delicate tiptoeing through the tulips when it's very, very brittle. This is not. This Danish flint is not really, really brittle. I'm going to send Matthias a box of tools in exchange for this. Yeah. He sent me a book also. I have to order some more copper rods. I think I'm going to send him the copper rods separately from the rest of the tools. I'm going to send them the tools tomorrow. This is translucent as well. Yeah. Nice. It does remind me of Texas stuff. Yes, yes. My goodness, look at all these. Weather is getting really nice, but it probably won't last. We'll have a few weeks of nice weather and then it'll start raining and get hot again and then cold again. And then get really cold. Let's see. This is nice. Why are you giving me these, Matthias? You want to see me thin these down even more? These are pretty good already. I guess I'll have to thin these down even more. Yeah. He abraded the edges a little bit, but not too much. I usually abrade the edges more than this. But, yeah, that's fine. If you can get results without abrading the edges, it's good. Yeah, if you want to know how to package rocks, this is how you do it. With lots of cling wrap. More translucent material. This is awesome. Yeah. He didn't nap this to a thin state, probably because it's kind of rare, right? He didn't want to mess it up. He sent it to me so I can mess it up. This looks really good. Yeah. I don't want to start napping it right now. Let's just get through all of these first. There's different grades. There's this lighter gray, and then there's a range of the translucent so far. And then there's this darker stuff. I've seen artifacts online and photographs of artifacts made from this darker stuff, but not too many of these lighter colors. But I have seen some of this from memory. The book he sent me it has black and white sketches. Unfortunately, I don't get to see all the colors. Here we go. This one's a little bit lower grade stone, probably. Just by looking at how thick it still is. I know he can thin it down, so if it's thicker, that means he probably had a harder time with this stuff. It looks a little bit tougher to nap, yeah. So I'll be sampling all of these in a different video probably. I want to keep these videos to 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes I should be able to unwrap all of these and look at them all. All very interesting. I got more bifaces than I thought. That's cool. Yeah. All this is Danish flint, okay? If you just tuned in and you zipped it to this stage, because you saw this. Ooh, it's got a stripe on that one. It's Danish flint. It's all Danish. Yeah. Cool, huh? Is this the top part of one of the bifaces that snap? Or is it just a biface by itself? Yeah, it looks like a snapiola. Very similar to this. But it's not the lower half of this, I don't think. Although it might have been. Could have snapped in, in 3 pieces. It looks like the same material. From the same rock. Same nodule. I gotta move these out of the way. If I drop one of these while I'm unwrapping it, they will not be good. Because I'll land right on one of these bifaces on the floor. What's today? Tuesday? I'm usually sleeping all day Tuesday. After I do my shipping, I usually take a long nap. I took a short nap a little while ago. And the skunkers, they woke me up because I forgot to throw the cat food in the yard, and they were up on the porch eating the cat food. Luis came by too at the same time as the skunks, and they were making a racket out front. The skunks, there were 2 of them fighting for the cat bowl, and then Louise is just standing in the distance. And then I went outside and I dumped the cat food in the yard, and Louise still wanted some food, so I had to give her some separately. But the skunks are now walking up toward me, because I usually have some granola bars to give to them. So I think they now know my scent, so they walk up. I'm saying, oh dang. I don't know if that's good or bad. It might be good if they get close enough. I can drop some of the flea drops on them, because I think they all have fleas, and I think they're giving the fleas to Louise. Louise now has fleas. It's all my fault. So this is a translucent one, yeah. This is going to be interesting to nap these. I'm going to look in the Danish book and see what I can duplicate. Oh yeah, this is that stuff. This is excellent stuff. It really is. I like it. I like the feel of it. It's going to be, nerve-wracking to nap it because it's rare for us. But I like the feel of it, and the results look cool. It has a nice look to it once you flake it. Yeah. It's got ripples, but they're not too ripply. You can make big, bold flakes on this stuff, too. They'll flatten out. They don't die very, very much. From what I remember, I was able to get a bifacer without much diving. Yeah. This is my biface that I made. It was not diving, although it does step fracture like everything else. I can't remember. I don't think I had issues with diving. What that means is it likes a heavily convex, or if it's divey, that means the flakes would rather be traveling over a more convex surface. If it's flat and it's a divey type of material, they'll dive in because they want to go in a curve. They want to be more convex. So the thicker you make them, the smoother the flakes are. in that case. If it starts to dive in on you, you've got to keep it thick. In other words, that's another way to look at it. So this is a challenge too. I can do a rock to point with this. I know everyone likes rock to point videos. I'll do a series. Danish flint rock to point. Yeah. I got lots of obsidian also. I've got some glass. Oh, look at that. So yeah, I'm going to be napping fancy glass. All this is coming up in the future. I just don't know when. I've got fancy iridescent glass. Wait, is this? Oh, he snapped it. Yeah, it was doing pretty good. Yeah. Doing pretty good. It's got a crystal pocket right there. Can you see? It's kind of sparkly. What does that mean when it has a crystal pocket? That means it has defects. It looks like it was not defective in the area where it broke. It's just thin. The thinness will snap it in half. Yeah. This is the limits of the stone. So I'll measure the width to thickness ratio. It looks like about 7 to 1 or something. You want to keep it thicker than that when dealing with these. Yeah, but that's a very good attempt. That's very thin. And it's translucent too. I'll be able to make 2 nice translucent points out of this. Just because it's snapped in half doesn't mean it's not strong material. Yeah, translucent stuff. I don't have my flashlight in here. I think the reason why I don't like keeping my flashlights in here is the batteries. It gets so hot that the batteries wear out fast. But since it's cooling down, I'm going to try to keep a flashlight in here so I can show you the translucency. Better view of the translucencies. What is this? This is a high-grade biface. It's that rough stuff. Not the smooth. It's not smooth. No, it's not the smooth. It's a little bit rough. No, it's rougher than this one. This is kind of a little bit chalky. It feels a little chalky. Interesting. Very interesting that there's such a range of types of flints. Yeah. And I bet you this was a surface find, and it looks like it's good quality stuff. Around here, if you find anything on the surface, it's not going to be good quality at all. Oh yes, slightly translucent. Yeah, it does look like Texas stuff. Yep. Nice. Okay, well, we got a bunch to go through here. Okay, so he padded the bottom of this box really well. If I don't unwrap all these before 30 minutes, I'm just going to cut the video at 30 minutes. Yeah, the bottom is well padded. Yes, it's packaged excellently. So he had lots of padding on the bottom and the top. That makes a big difference when shipping, because then, when they get dropped, these things they have a little bit of a cushion. They're not really forced against each other too much. The little bifaces and chunks, they're not forced against each other well. The box is jostled around if it's got a lot of padding on top and bottom. Okay. Ooh, this might have had a defect. That's why it broke. Yeah, definite defect. Definitely, and it probably not very visible. Yeah, there might be another one right in there. It's a darker than, is it darker than the other? No, it's about the same. A little bit darker, these pieces. But that's a good attempt. It's just, see, it's a little bit thinner in the middle than on the ends. That's a no-no. But even though, not even though, but it's still, it broke at a defect. It would have probably stayed intact if there wasn't a defect. But yeah, the middle is a little bit thin. It's supposed to thin the ends down more than the middle. You can leave the base thick if that's what you're trying to replicate. Some points will have a thick base. But I try to keep the middle thicker, especially right there where I know it's going to snap. You know, it'll either snap exactly in the middle or somewhere in that zone if it gets too thin in the middle compared to the ends. This one seems thin. I think the pollen is also pretty heavy right now, so my nose is all stuffy. I think I'm going to go back to sleep once I finish this video. Yep, sleep all the way until tomorrow. Get ready for next week. I got a live stream and a channel news tomorrow. This is thin. Look at that. What am I going to do? I can't thin it less than that. That's going to be a challenge for me to get it thinner than this. This is really good. This is thinned down really well. I guess he wants me to take that out. I would have thinned the tip a lot more. But yeah, there's a good flake pattern there. As far as nice bold flakes, yeah. I mean, it's not a sequential pattern. I just like the bold flakes. Yeah. I guess it's a random pattern, and that doesn't make any sense, but I think you know what I mean. Nice. This is going to get me nervous to nap this one. Yeah. But we'll do it. I'll just take one for the team. Woe is me. Oh, look at that. This feels rough, though. And it looks like it's not going to be easy to nap. This would be a candidate for heat treatment, I think. It is translucent also. I think he said this is a tiger stripe in an email. So I got to make sure I keep this separate. Right? And not mess it up. I'm going to do a video on that one. Okay? All right. I got to put them all back in the box. Let me dump this out. Make sure that box doesn't get mixed up with other boxes. Not easy to do. I got a bunch of boxes. Almost 30 minutes. I gotta hurry. What is it? It looks like it's almost a nodule. That's kind of a good sized nodule, right? I like them this size. They're very manageable. Don't have to worry too much about stressing out. Yeah, 3 inches. Perfect. I like working this size of material. These two are great sizes. The lower end and the upper end, I like working this size. Yeah. These sizes, because that's a 3. What is that, a 4 or something? Yeah. 4 1/4. 3 and 4 inches are my favorite sizes to nap. As far as nodules and starting spalls and stuff. Yeah. Nobody likes watching videos, though, of these little ones. But that's what I like doing, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay? All right. I don't want to hear no whinings. No whinings. This looks really thin. Let me see. The quest for thinness. Yeah, it's going to drive me nuts. This quest for thinness. Can I get it any thinner than that? That's going to be a challenge. Yeah. At that width, I might not be able to get it thinner. It looks a little tough too. I'll just measure the ratio, and I might be able to improve the ratio, but I will lose a lot of width. But I should be able to improve the ratio. Like if it's 6:1 right now or 5:1, I can probably improve that to 7:1, but I'll have to take off some width. We'll see. I might not be able to. I might not be able to improve the ratio of width to thickness. This is really nice. Yep. Good job on that one. It's almost 30 minutes. It's past 30 minutes. Dang it. All right, so I won't. It looks like the same stuff, right? So I won't open all this stuff. Yeah. I think you get the idea. Yeah, I think you got the idea. So what I'm going to do is, since these are still wrapped, they'll go in the bottom. There's some more nodules. There's some more nodules anyway. They're not all bifaces. Oh, they're so nice though. You gotta stack them in the corner so they don't break. And then I'll put the rest away. All right, thanks, Matthias. I'm gonna send you a box of tools tomorrow. It'll go out in the mail tomorrow. All righty. There you go. That's it.